Okay, welcome to video number 1, I guess. Yesterday I did what I'm calling, I guess, the intro, and this is going to be video number 1. There is subject matter, brief. I'm going to try to keep it to about 10 minutes. I do have my timer. And we'll get right to it. Simply today, I went out on an activity with my eldest son today. If you are a friend on my Facebook, you can go and check out the video. I'm not going to be posting stuff about my kids or anything like that on this channel, I think, for obvious reasons. Anyway, my son is 6 years old. We went out shooting an air rifle today. He's kind of at that age where he's becoming a man. Seems a little young at 6, but to me, I can talk to him like a person. I can stand there and I can look him in the face and I can talk to him like a regular, like a friend, like somebody I work with. And this sort of evolution, this sort of change in him has really only happened over this last summer before he started this last grade in school. It's very challenging for me. And I cry a lot, to be perfectly honest. I battle with myself. I was always really good with kids growing up, always. I spent some time in foster care, and I ended up in a foster home that I wasn't necessarily supposed to be in because of my age, and my foster mom was told that I was well behaved. There really wasn't a lot of problem with me, and so she accepted me, and I was with some special needs kids and behaviorally challenged kids, and I managed to get along with them and communicate with them and become their friend. All of them, it seems like, most of them anyway. In my mid to later teens, I started to get a little out of control, and things kind of changed in terms of relationships with my peers. But in my younger years, I was always the kids' favorite. Adults hated me and children loved me. It's funny like that. But where I'm at now is I'm not necessarily their favorite. I have 2 sons. I'm not necessarily their favorite. At least I feel that way. My partner, my girlfriend, their mother assures me that that is not the case, and my children absolutely adore their father. But I, of course, we're going to do a little metaphysical stuff here, right? I live in my own universe. Okay, I have a bubble around me that is what I experience every moment, every second, every thought, every choice I make. I have this sort of bubble that is my experience of things now. I'll go back to my girlfriend and partner, who could potentially be sitting on the couch right here watching me do this video. And we still have separate bubbles. We still have our own experience, our own ideas, our own perception of things, and all of that stuff around us. So I would definitely like to venture into some of that stuff in the future. That gets a little off topic when you're talking about sort of one's universe and how one experiences the universe. Because no matter what I do sitting here talking into a video camera, what's happening right now in this moment is here with me right now. It's it's me. It's my universe. I can only assume what everybody else out there might think of what I'm saying. So anyway, back to the point. I perceive things as that I'm not necessarily my children's favorite, and I've always been used to when it comes to kids is they love me, they adore me. I have fun. I can communicate very well with them, and that's kind of, I guess, the topic here is about communication, and about communicating with not just young people but your children. You know, if you have children, you'll be able to grasp or sort of plug into this sort of emotion that happens when you're talking about your own children. If you don't, that doesn't mean you're at all incapable of understanding that connection. But I still feel that in some ways you really have to have a child of your own to understand completely what it's like to battle wanting to be one of your favorite people in the whole world's best friend, and also have to sometimes make them cry with disappointment because I don't get to march around this house and spoil the shit out of them and give them whatever they want and just make sure they're happy all the time. Unfortunately, as a father, I'm learning I don't get to do that. I actually have to teach them values and morals and life skills. I'm 37 years old. I've been a dad at home full time consistently now for a little over 2 years. It's been wishy-washy and on and off in my past. What's drawn me to where I'm at now is my children. This is the first time I've been in a relationship with my child where I can talk to him and he can talk back. And it's just a really strange and bizarre phenomena. So, anyway, kind of today, we went on a little trip, and what I learned, I always ask my son, or at least I try to, when we have days like today. It was kind of intense. It was sort of a father-son learning, yes sir, no sir, but still trying to have a little fun at the same time. But I'll always ask him, what did you learn today? And I expect this great answer from him. His answer was great when I did ask him. Actually, it almost made me, it brought me to tears. I mean, I was just absolutely thrilled. He got exactly what I had been trying to get across to him all day. It was wonderful. But anyway, I was sort of sitting around and we were watching some videos, and I watched a video about Jim Carrey and one of his more recent documentaries. I'm not going to get into it too much. But I was just doing a little brainstorming about the video tonight, and I was like, all right, I always ask my son this question. All right, Kat, what did you learn today? And I just drew a blank, like, what? And I couldn't answer that question. Not right away. I had to sit down and think about it for a minute. What did I learn today? I stormed around all day directing, dictating. And I have to really stop and sit down at the end of all these things and reflect on what I did. How was my behavior towards my son? Who is the real child today? When things sort of get intense and I'm trying to get his attention and he's having a hard time hearing what I'm saying. So what did I learn today? Today I learned that the more I think I have things figured out in this world, in my little universe here, the more I think I understand what I'm seeing and what other people are doing and what I'm hearing. The truth is that it's the farther from reality I actually get, the more I get the idea that I think I got it all figured out. It's just a sign that I'm very far from the truth of things. And the truth of things is that I know very little. I know very little, and I have to teach somebody who knows even less. And it's a challenge. It's a challenge for me. So anyway, that was kind of, I feel like it was kind of off what I primarily wanted to do these video logs about, but it's a video log. I'm going to try to do these every day. And I'm just going to kind of get on here and talk about what's going on in my head. Video number 1 is a little longer than I think I had planned on doing it. That's okay. We're not too far over 10 minutes. But a couple points I think I'll make, and I'll close it. You know, my children, I will scream and yell until I'm blue in the face and tell them and tell them and tell them, and they don't do what I tell them. And I scream, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why don't you do what I tell you to? And it's because they do what I do. They do what I do, not what I say. And that's what they're supposed to do. So anyway, remember that your children do what you do way more than they do what you say. So I'm closing with that. Have a wonderful evening, and hope to see you for video number 2. Good night.